A very warm welcome, my dear students. In today's video, we will learn about the arithmetic progressions. We will learn the concepts and we will also go through the relevant questions there. Now, whenever we want to learn about the arithmetic progressions, first we have to understand what is a sequence. So, a group of numbers which are arranged in a definite order and they follow a certain rule or a condition is called a sequence. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, this is a sequence. Why do I call it a sequence? Because if we look at the difference between any two consecutive numbers, that is 2. So if I add 2 to the preceding term, it will give me the next term. Therefore, I can call it a sequence. This is a condition that is particular for this sequence, but different sequences will have different conditions there. And now if I talk about an AP is also a type of sequence in which the common difference, that means the difference between any two consecutive terms, remains constant. For example, if we look at the sequence or at the AP that is given below here, the first term is 4, the second term is 7, and then I have 10 and so on. So the common difference here is 3. If I add 3 to 4, I'm going to get 7. If I add 3 to 7, I'm going to get 10. And if I add a 3 to 10, I'm going to get 13. So thereon we can say that the common difference here is same, and therefore this particular sequence can be called as an AP. Now we have certain questions here where we will try and check whether these sequences are AP or not. Now in order to check if a particular sequence is an AP or not, we have to check through the common difference. How do we find the common difference? We have to look at the difference between any two consecutive terms. So we do a nth term minus the an minus 1th term. In the first question, if I take in the common difference here between, let's say, 14 and 10, then the common difference is 4. Even if I take any two other terms like 10 and 6, then also the common difference is 4. Therefore, I can say that this particular sequence is an AP. Let us look at the second one. In the second one, now if I try and calculate the common difference, then the common difference between 6 and 9 is -3. And you can take any two terms, other two terms here as well. So let's say that I take 12 and 15. Then also the common difference here is -3. So because the common difference here remains the same, this series also qualifies as an AP. Now, looking at the third one here, again we are going to find out the common difference. If I look at the common difference between 18 and 12, then the difference here is of 6. But if I look at the difference between 9 and 5, then the difference is of 4. So we can understand that the common difference here does not remain the same. Instead, it has changed. It was 4 earlier, then it became 6. So I cannot say that this is an AP. It's a sequence, but it is not an AP, and the condition for this one we do not know. Now, since we have understood what is an AP, let us talk about the general term of an AP. To understand about the general term of an AP, let's say that we take an AP which has the first term as A and the common difference as D. Now if I want to write this AP, then the first term would be A, second term would be A plus D, third term would be A plus 2D, and so on. For every single term, I just have to keep on adding a D. The nth term of this particular AP can be written as A plus n minus 1 into D. A represents the first term, n represents the nth term, and D is the common difference. You have to learn this particular formula, and we will be using this formula in several questions. So do learn it. Now I have a question here based on the same formula. You have to find the 24th term of the sequence. So firstly, we always figure out what all is given to us. So over here, A is equal to 12. And if you look at the common difference, that I can find out by subtracting two consecutive terms. So I do 10 minus 12, which gives me a -2. Because I want to find out the 24th term here, therefore my n here is 24. Now the first step is always to write the formula, because we all know that we have step marking and you will get marks for the formula as well. So an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Let's substitute the values here. So a 24th, or the 24th term, is equal to 12 plus 24 minus 1 times a negative 2. When I simplify this particular expression over here, I simply get it as negative 34. That is my 24th term of this particular sequence. By using this formula, you can find the nth term of any random sequence as well. Now, the next thing that we talk about here is the sum of n terms of an AP. Again, my first term is a, common difference is d, and the number of terms is n. The thing that I have added over here is the last term as L. Now you can see that there are two formulae here. S is equal to n by 2 into a plus L, and S is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. You use the first formula if the last term is given to you, or if you can figure it out. In case the last term is not given to you, then do not use that formula. Instead, use the lower formula. Now, since we have understood this formula as well, let us try and apply this also in a question. So we want to find out the sum of the first 22 terms of the AP. Again, we have to figure out what all is given to us. A is 8, that's my first term, and to find out the common difference, I can do 3 minus 8, which gives me minus 5. That's my common difference, and the n here would be 22 because I want to find out the sum of the first 22 terms. So we will write the formula S is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Then let's substitute the values. My n here is 22, my a is 8, and n is 22, and d is minus 5. On substituting here, when we simplify, we get the answer as minus 979, which is the sum of the first 22 terms of this particular AP. It's a very straightforward question, just a direct substitution in the formula. Now, since we understand this also, so based on the same idea, there was a question in the CBSE 2024 maths paper, and we will try and look at that one. So, the question here goes like, in an AP, if the first term A is 7, nth term is 84, and the sum of first n terms Sn is equal to 2093 by 2, then n is equal to, we write the formula again, that is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and we will substitute the relevant values. Instead of Sn, I write 2093 by 2. I do not know the value of n, but I know the value of a, so I write the a as 7. And again, I do not know the value of n minus 1 and d. I leave it just the way it is. In the question, they have also told me that the nth term of this particular AP is 84. Therefore, let me also use the nth term formula here. So, an would be equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. A is given as 7. N and d we do not know, but I know that the an is 84. So, let's replace an with 84. On doing that, I get 84 is equal to 7 plus n minus 1 into d. Now I can take 7 to the other side and I'll have 84 minus 7, which would give me 77. So 77 is equal to n minus 1 into d. This is something that I would keep just the way it is. Come back to the Sn equation here. I'm going to replace the n minus 1 into d with 77. So let's put this value as 77 and see what happens. 2093 by 2 is equal to n by 2 into 14 plus 77. And now it's very easy to simplify this expression. By simplifying this, we get n as 23. That is the value of n here. Okay, I have another question here which is also from the CBSE 2024 paper, but this one you all are going to try yourself. Put your answers in the comment box and we will try and reply to each of your comments. That's all for today, students. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe.